So normally in the movies, they have when they were going to make a movie, they have a storyboard for each scene, the whole storyboard with little writing on it showing how it should look and different actions to be taken. When I do something, I use a piece of paper, a lot of writing on it, and I highlight some of the main things that I want, and then I mark off a score, a line through it when I'm finished with it. For instance, here I've got smoke, LED, blue and red lights, and I've got punch bag, and I've written here, track him walking, fix focus on his face, tracking shot. So that would mean if a guy's walking past objects, I don't want the focus to go from his face to the punch bag, back to his face again. So I would go into fix focus. When I got to the actual venue where we were going to shoot, I couldn't quite do that. We didn't have a time. I was busy shooting that video on the fight scene for the karate school, the Krav Maga, all kind of stuff that they teach. And I asked the lady, can I shoot a movie? And that's the one that was supposed to be 2 minutes long and ended up being 20 minutes long. Like, for instance, what I did, and I'll show pictures of it, is I wanted to create an impression of the bad guy walking out of a massage parlor and walking towards the camera. So obviously there was no alleys or anything we could use. So they had a lot of punch bags hanging close to a wall. And what I did is I put a big light at the back to sort of give him a backlight. So when the bad guy came walking in and he walked towards the camera, you wouldn't see him clearly. He'd just look like a mean guy. And what I did is on the punch bags, I printed up, I took, pictures or magazines and stuck it up on there. I hung a couple of blue and red LED lights, over, to try and create an impression of a seedy sort of place. And a final touch, which I wanted to do, was I had somebody lying in the alley, like next to the wall, in other words, and as he came past, it was a young girl, she'd raise her hand and sort of, please help me, I need money, and he would brush her aside as if, no, I want nothing to do with you, I'm better than you, and that would create an impression of what kind of a mean son of a bitch the guy was. It actually worked out pretty well at the end. What I did is I put a fan, and I had some people standing with paper, loose sheets of paper, and I had them throwing it in front of the fan so that it could blow and create an impression of like a windswept sort of type of thing. And all of this took place in the in the dojo, in the building where they taught the karate. And this particular scene was actually on the floor where they actually did their exercises. The other scenes, which I'll show an example of too, was actually her office, the owner's office. And in that, we filmed the scene where they did the massage. He was meant to be in a massage parlor. Luckily, she managed to get hold of a massage table, and she brought it because I wanted the guy's face pointing down so I could film him from below, and I shone a red light on him to kind of once again try and show that this was not a nice guy. Because I'd read somewhere that, when you show red light, you show the red light on the villain, and that reinforces in the viewer's eyes that this is actually not a very nice guy. Somebody not to be messed with. So I shone a red light on him lying there. Then when that scene was over, of course that took a lot of setting up with lights hanging in front of the camera and etc. When that scene was over, then we used that same space for the office scene where the big shot guy from the cops came in and he spoke to them, and he told them, look, this is what's going to happen, this is what should happen. And then also that was the scene where she then gained entrance through the door to his laptop computer. This is now of the bad guy. This was meant to be the bad guy's office, and she got the laptop, and that's when the guys came bursting in through the door, and sort of we had people pointing guns, and the whole fight scene took place. So that one office fulfilled the massage parlor, It also was the office of the bad guy with the laptop that we were supposed to, the people were supposed to hack into, and also it was the the police commandant's office, where he gave them a talking to and said, this is what we've got to do, etc. So one little place, we had to change furniture, switch furniture, put different things up on the wall. And in fact, in the office scene, the scene for the cop scene, where the people were sitting at the desk and the cop guy came in, lieutenant, whatever we called him, when he came in, one of the youngsters that was pretty good, that was the computer boffin, he had made a whole board and he had stuck different things all on the back. You know, they wanted signs and everything. And one of them, he said something about coffee. The problem with coffee is that you never can have too much coffee, or something along the lines of that. When I look at the video again and put a piece on you, you'll be able to see exactly. So that was pretty good, getting the different people involved in all the different scenes. One of the scenes that we had when the bad guys came bursting through the door, my aim was to have lots of, throughout the scene, I wanted to have lots of fog, you know. So I had a fog machine from a friend of mine that lent it to me. It didn't really work because it dissipated too quickly. And the main reason why I wanted to have the fog machine is on the outside windows, I wanted to make three or 4 or 5 different beams of light. I'd seen somewhere where somebody had done that, and they shone light through the smoke, and you just mainly caught the action through those beams of light. You know, you stopped down your lens so you didn't get too much light. You just got the light where these beams came in, and I thought that would look so nice for a fight scene, etc. Unfortunately, I tried to put little flashlights into tubes and let them sort of show light through, and it didn't work at all. So eventually we just had a fog machine and lots of smoke flying around and stuff. And somebody said to me, why is there so much smoke? Well, what caused the smoke? And I'm thinking, he's got a good point there. I mean, what caused the smoke? So then I had to go, and actually in this garage where I'm now, I actually set up a scene with a door that I use as a tabletop. And I actually had somebody physically hold the door and creak it open. I had a light behind. And then I took a bottle, and I actually threw some dry ice into it. And I threw it inside and got it to spin around and emit a lot of smoke to create the impression that, oh, this is why you're doing it, because they had thrown in the smoke machine. You know, initially it was going to be like a stun, an explosive thing, but I couldn't get that. But then they threw in this thing which, you know, spins around and emitted smoke and everything. It didn't look too badly. It worked out quite well. But all these little things that when you're doing, you know, no budget filmmaking, you've got to take into account, and you've got to try and make happen. And at the end of the day, you're never really happy because this didn't happen, that didn't happen. You were rushed because, you know, the 2-minute fight scene became nearly 6 minutes long. And I had looked at fight scenes with, for instance, Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron. And she was like, in 30 seconds, she had bam, 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 fought and disarmed sort of 3 or 4 guys and done. Whereas this scene, she kept knocking the guys down. They came back. She knocked them down again. Other guys came and they punched her and everything. So it was a bit too drawn out. Didn't quite lend itself to the boom, boom, finish. But it was their Jim. She was helping me write the script. So, you know, I let it be, let it go. It turned out not too badly. But you see all these different things that you have to take into account. What do you use? What do you have? What do you make use of? How do you best try and create what it is that you want to create? So all in all, very happy. I love making little movies like that. And of course, at my age, I'm never going to do a big movie, but I hope to sort of keep doing stuff like that. I love to do that kind of thing. I love it when people come forward, like in America when I filmed one film. One guy said to me, can we come and play? I'll bring. And he brought along a whole bunch of actors and actresses. And one guy even set up a scene in a hospital with a hospital bed and stethoscope and the white jacket and everything. It was brilliant. It was so cool. And that's the kind of thing that you really appreciate when you get like-minded people come together and they want to get involved, because everybody's hoping that maybe one day they will become a film star, they will become a superstar. And, it's nice that people have dreams. In one of the scenes, where the guy had the lady on the office table, and who was pummeling her, and she was reaching across looking for the knives, etc., that were on one side, and then she reached across the other side. There was a camera there, and she picked up the camera, and as she took it up to the guy's face, she pressed the flash, and you see the guy jump back and sort of grab his eyes and like, oh, and that made it sort of escape from a sticky situation. And I kind of enjoyed doing that because it introduced more of a photographic aspect of, hey, we can use a camera, not for pummeling. I wasn't going to try and hit him with a camera, but just introduced a little something which photographers will enjoy.